I'm Ina and this is Real Estate News. Tonight, Penang is again in the spotlight over the Penang South Islands development. The project, originally planned as 3 artificial islands, has now been scaled down to a single 2,300-acre silicon island under the Penang 2030 vision to build a smarter, greener, and high-tech urban economy. Reclamation work for this silicon island is planned to be completed by 2032, while the full development phase is expected to extend across roughly 25 years. However, despite the state's justification of land scarcity and economic competitiveness in Penang, the project continues to face strong criticism, particularly from coastal communities and fishermen who fear the loss of their traditional fishing grounds and marine habitat. For more on public response, we now go live to Aisha at the coast in Bayan Lepas. Aisha, what's happening on the ground?
Thank you. So, let's talk to the fishermen that against this case. Assalamualaikum. So, what is your opinion about the PSI project?
Before this, we could catch fish every day. But the sea is different now, as you can see. Our income has dropped. This project affects our life, no?
If we want Penang to stay competitive, so we need new lands for new industries.
We are not against the development, but it must be responsible.
Economics opportunities are important, so we can't just really say no to everything. If they could really deliver a green technology, maybe this can lift Penang into the future.
Thank you, Aisha. From what we have heard, community concerns center on declining fish catch and the loss of natural coastline. Legally, this project falls under the Environmental Quality Act 1974, where Section 34A requires the full environmental impact assessment. Under the Environmental Quality Order 2015, coastal reclamation above 50 hectares is listed under the second schedule item 7A, making PSI a prescribed activity that must undergo detailed studies and public consultation.
Hi, so what do you think about ESG?
ESG, environmental, social and governance, sounds great on paper, but real ESG means protecting ecosystem and people. If fishermen are losing their jobs, can we still call this sustainable?
So you think Malaysia's ESG implementation is more of a label than a lifestyle?
Exactly, the EQA requires public participation in the EIA process, but often these sessions are just formalities. Local are invited, yes, but their feedback rarely change the final decision.
So you're saying the EIA process under the EQA looks transparent, but it may not always be meaningful?
That's right, the EIA can be seen as a technical hurdle instead of a safeguard. For example, Penang South Island's first EIA was rejected in 2019, mainly because of concern over marine biodiversity and fishermen's livelihood. But after some revision, it got approved again in 2023. The question is, what really changed?
These requirements act as governance safeguards and form the basis of ESG accountability. Whether PSI delivers real environmental and social benefits now depends on how closely the developers follow these conditions. So, what do you think? Will the PSI project succeed? I'm Ina. Thank you for watching and good night.
So now we are here with the PSI developer, lawyer and ESG expert. So, what is actually PSI project?
We designed Penang South Island project to be a model of sustainable growth. Our master plan includes renewable energy, low carbon mobility, and mangrove restoration. It's just not a development, it's about us building a city that's worked with nature, not against it.
Those initiatives sounds good, but sustainability cannot be measured only through design. True ESG practice means the social and environmental balance continues even after the first stone is laid. How are you addressing the concern of the fishermen who have lost their income and the ongoing marine disruption?
We acknowledge the impact, that's why we have introduced compensation program, retaining opportunity, and coastal rehabilitation efforts. Our goal is to create shared value, economic opportunity for the community while safeguarding the ecosystem.
Under Malaysia law, there's a right direction. The Environmental Quality Act 1974 and EQA 2015 require both mitigation and monitoring. However, compliance doesn't end with approval. The law also expected continuous environmental monitoring and transparency in reporting.
That's where many projects fall short. The follow-up. ESG isn't a one-time checklist. It is actually a long-term commitment. The community needs access to data like water quality, biodiversity reports, and social audits. Only then we can say ESG is truly being practiced.
we are moving towards that. We have engaged independent environmental consultants to track progress and share updates publicly. Transparency is key, and we are learning to improve.
That's encouraging, but remember, if any part of the mitigation plan fails, whether it's sediment control or livelihood replacement, the company remains accountable. Governance, the G in ESG, right, means liability and honesty, not just documentation.
Exactly. Governance is about building trust between the government, the developer and the people. If this project managed to turn promises into measurable results, it could become a benchmark for a sustainable development in Malaysia. But if not, it will be remembered as another greenwashing.
That's why we are determined to make it. It's more than just compliance. It is reputation, responsibility, and for Penang future.
Let's hope this time the development and the environmental can coexist, not collide.
If that balance is achieved, then maybe ESG in Malaysia will finally become more than just a lip service.
So now we understand about the PSI project. Thank you for your clear information. So that's all for today's segment. Thank you for staying with us until the end. So see you next time.